which is really an interesting chapter. And this is my first class of your climate chapter. Now the topics that I am going to discuss today are, number one, we are having two words which are very similar. Oftenly we get confused with these two words, but what is the basic difference between climate and weather? Now what are the elements of climate and weather? What type of climate does India have and why we are having that type of climate? And lastly, what is monsoon actually? Normally you will say monsoon means rainfall. Sorry, today you will get the clear clarification of the term monsoon. Now let us proceed with the first part of it. Now you can see the two maps are displayed over here. You can see one map where you are seeing it is showing a picture of sun and bit of cloud, and some values are written over here. That means it is showing the temperature, showing whether it will be cloudy or not, or whether it will have a bright sunshine, what type of cloud. If it is having this patch of cloud, that means there will be a chances of precipitation. So this is actually showing a that is elements of or weather map. And here you can see it's one map entirely colored with a one single color, and it is written monsoonal climate of India. That means what does this indicates? From here, what is the thing? Can you just get the thing? Let me proceed with the basic difference between the two terms, that is climate and India, that is weather and climate. And before going to this, let me just discuss about the elements of weather. Elements of weather. Now there are 5 elements. Number one is temperature. Number one is temperature. Now what is temperature? It is degree of hotness and coldness, and the instrument that is there, thermometer. That is, we term it for measuring the temperature of the atmosphere, that is the atmospheric temperature. We use the maximum and minimum thermometer. Now next, we are having the next element is wind. Moving of air from high to low pressure area is termed as wind, and the instrument aerometer is there, even wind vane is there, where we can measure the direction of the wind. Even the speed of the wind has also been measured. Now next, precipitation or rainfall. Now water that falls to the atmosphere to surface. Why? Due to the gravitational pull. So that is precipitation, and we are having different forms of precipitation. Here rainfall is written, but we are having snowfall, we are having hailstorms, everything is there which comes under the category of precipitation. And the instrument that is being used, that is rain gauge. Next, atmospheric pressure or air pressure. The force exerted on the earth's surface due to air. Everything is having a pressure, even air is having a pressure. So when air exert force on the earth's surface, we term it as atmospheric pressure or air pressure, and that is measured by the instrument barometer. And the last element is humidity, that is amount of water vapor in the air, that is humidity, which is measured by using a instrument termed as sling psychrometer or wet and dry bulb thermometer. So what are the 5 elements of weather and climate? Number 1, it is temperature. Number 2, wind. Number 3, precipitation. Number 4, air pressure. Number 5, humidity. Now let us proceed to the difference between these two terms. What is weather and what is climate? Now just pay attention to it. What is weather and what is climate? The first, weather is the condition of the atmosphere in a specific place of a given point in time. It is specific place is mentioned. It's a specific place and a given point of time. It's not for the entire year or entire day, a given point of time. These atmospheric condition may take place day by day, minute by minute or seasonally. That is weather. And while climate is the average weather condition over a place, and it mostly takes place after 30 years or time, 30 years of time, means it's more than 30 years of time that there is no change of the climatic condition. Now let me explain this point. If I say that I am there in near JK College and here it is quite a bright sunshine, gradually I am starting to move from JK College towards Raghunathpur, and I can find out over there it is bit cloudy. So what is this? Is it a climate or is it a weather? It is weather. Okay, this is for a specific area, it is having a bright sunshine. For a specific area, the weather is cloudy. So it is for, and it changes frequently. After a certain period of time, you can find the reverse condition. Even that JK College area is having a cloudy weather and Raghunathpur is having a bright sunshine. So it changes frequently. That is weather condition. But entirely for entire India, which season we are having now? It is basically a summer season. So which is not changing from one place to another, whether it is Jammu and Kashmir, whether it is Indian desert, whether it is Arunachal Pradesh, whether it is Andaman Nicobar Island groups or Lakshadweep, everywhere, every place is experiencing the summer season at this moment. Hopefully it is clear to everybody. Now, we are having how many elements? We are having 5 elements of weather and climate. Now, at this moment, which element of weather is very much prominent? The element of weather that we are having 5 elements. Now, at this moment during the summer season, the which element is prominent? That is temperature. Temperature is very much prominent. So, what does this indicate? Weather is influenced by prominence of a single element, but climate is the average of all the elements. This is the second point of difference. Now, third point of difference is weather occurs in a place with a short period and it is for a long period. Weather is what you get on daily basis. It is for the daily basis, but it is a long stretch of time. Weather changes, I said it changes very frequently, but climate does not change in that order. It is static, it is stable for a longer duration of period, maybe decades or centuries. Lastly, when anybody is there to study weather scientifically, it is meteorology, and the person who study about it is or the specific that is a study is termed as meteorologist or study of meteorology. And related to the climate, it is climatology, and the one who study it is climatologist. So these are the point of difference between the weather and climate. Hopefully it is clear to each and every student. Now let us move to the next part. Monsoon. Let me just explain the term monsoon. Now the word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word which is Monsoon, and which literally means season, and the Hindi word is Mausam. Mausam means what? Season. So what is monsoon now? Monsoon is not rainfall. Monsoon means season. And how many seasons we are having? Mainly we are having 3 seasons: summer season, rainy season, winter season, and autumn and spring are considered as a transitional season. Clear to everybody? So what is monsoon now? Monsoon is actually the Arabic word which literally means season. Now the definition from where the monsoon word has been derived. Now let us move to the definition. Monsoon refers to seasonal reversal in the wind direction during a year. Now this is very important part of this chapter. The whole chapter depends upon this concept. Seasonal reversal. seasonally the winds are changing their direction. And here direction does not means north to south, east to west. Here it basically indicates whether it is coming from ocean to land or land to ocean. So, seasonal reversal in the wind direction during a particular year is termed as monsoon. Just learn this definition very nicely. If anybody is asking about what do you mean by the term monsoon, monsoon means the seasonal reversal of wind direction. Okay, now let us proceed with the next part. Now you can see one picture, it is given over here. The picture is actually showing the two surface of our earth. We know there are two surfaces within the earth, that is, one is water surface and another one is land surface. Now which surface heats up faster and cools down faster? So the answer is the surface that heats up faster is the land surface and it cools down faster, and water, it heats up slowly, evenly, it cools down slowly. Now why it is so? Why it is so? Why land heats up faster and water heats up slowly? You can see the two terms that is written over here. One is opaque and another one is transparent. Now just I am giving a very small example. Suppose you want to plant a very small, you want to plant a rose bush, you have to dig the soil. Now after digging out the soil, you can find out after a certain depth, you can find out the temperature of the soil is not like that what is there at the top. Have you experienced all these that is practical, that is observations? Now why it is so? Because land is opaque. The sun rays can penetrate up till a depth of 3 kilometers only. Beyond that, the depth of the sun rays cannot move in, but due to Earth's interior heat, the internal part of our Earth's surface is quite hot. Now next, transparent. Now if you do this experiment, take a small mug of water and just keep it outside in the sun. When you are keeping it outside in the sun, just pierce your hand within that mug and see what is the condition of the temperature. After half an hour, you just do the activity once again, pierce your hand within that mug, and what you will find? You will find that the top layer of that mug filled of water is quite warm, but the bottom layer is still comparatively cold. After an hour, you will find out that the temperature from the top to the bottom is same. So why does this happen? Because it is transparent. The sun rays is able to penetrate from the top layer to the bottom layer clearly because it is transparent. So now hopefully it is clear to everybody that which surface heats up faster and cools down faster, and which surface heats up slowly and cool down slowly. So water heats up slowly, and as it takes time to heat slowly, so it will take time to radiate out the heat in that manner. Now let us proceed to the next part. Now I am just proceeding with the relationship between temperature and air pressure. Now you just see the relationship between temperature and air pressure. Now in the left hand side I am having a higher temperature zone, and on the right hand side I am having a low temperature zone. Here we are having high temperature, here we are having low temperature zone. Now when we are having high temperature and low temperature zone, what is the resultant? The hot air becomes lighter, and when it becomes lighter, it moves up, creates a expand and it's create emptiness. And when it creates emptiness, so what will be the resultant? The pressure will become low. The pressure will become low. And here what is the resultant? When it is low temperature, the cold air is there. It is not hot air, it is cold air. And cold air is heavy. That means it cannot rise up. And when it cannot rise up, it will just descend down. It will just come down. And it will just occupy the area where it is vacuum. So when it will occupy the area where it is vacuum, it will exert high pressure. So hopefully, what is the relationship between temperature and air pressure? The relationship is totally reverse. It's an inverse relationship. Higher the temperature, lower is the pressure, and low air pressure means, sorry, here again both time pressure is mentioned. Here it will be temperature. Low temperature means high pressure. Here it will be temperature. High temperature means low pressure. Low temperature means high pressure. So why does this happen? I have explained it. Now next, I am proceeding to the next. Relationship of air pressure and winds. We all know that winds blow from high pressure to the low pressure region. Winds move from high pressure to the low pressure region. Now, what do you think? Which type of air will exert more pressure? Wet air or dry air? Hopefully, the maximum answer will be wet air. But the answer is wrong. Wet air does not exert more pressure. Now, if the wet air will exert more pressure, then all the clouds that is floating it in the sky would have been come down onto the land surface. Have you seen any of the cloud is there on the land surface? No. So, wet air does not exert more pressure. Rather, dry air exert more pressure. Why is it so? The water vapor just push the dust particles which is there in the wet air. So which is heavier? Dust particles are heavier or water vapor is heavier? Obviously dust particles are heavier. So the air which is having more content of water vapor, that is wet air, that exerts less pressure, and the dry air where water vapor is very less, the dust particles are more, which is more heavier, it will exert more pressure. These are some concepts that should be clear in your mind. Wet air exerts low pressure, dry air exerts more pressure because wet air contains more water vapor which is lighter, dry air contains more dust particle which is heavier. Hopefully everybody is having the clear concept now. Now just see this map. Just see this map. This is a map of our country. Now I said seasonal reversal of wind direction. What is this? This is monsoon. Seasonal reversal of wind direction. Now one very important latitude crosses the country. Hopefully the answer should be there with you, and the answer is Tropic of Cancer. Now what are the two main events of our earth? One is rotation, another one is revolution. Rotation creates day and night. Revolution creates the seasons. Revolution is there for the seasonal changes and rotation is there for day and night. Now we are talking about season, so we are talking about which event of the earth, that is revolution. Now due to revolution, what happens? During a certain period of time, Tropic of Cancer receives direct sun rays. Due to revolution of the earth, Tropic of Cancer receives direct sun rays. Now when Tropic of Cancer will receive direct sun rays, what will be the condition of the land temperature? Land temperature will be high. When Tropic of Cancer is facing the direct sun rays, land temperature will become high. High temperature means what is the connectivity with the pressure? Just now we discussed opposite. High temperature means low pressure. So what will be the movement of the wind? Winds will move from ocean to the land surface. Wind will move from ocean to the land surface. When this is the case, when Tropic of Cancer receiving the direct sun rays, that means during this period. So when winds are moving from ocean to land, what will be the after summer season? What do we have? We experience as rainy season. Why not after summer season directly winter season comes and then comes rainy season? No. Why? Because the low pressure attracts the winds from the zone of high pressure. Water surface will heat up slowly. So when it will take time to heat up, in the meantime land has already been heated up and it will create a zone of low pressure. It will create a zone of low pressure. It will allow the winds to move from ocean to land. Okay. Now just keep the concept up till here. I am not proceeding with the next concept. I will conduct one live class. If you are having any doubts over there, you will clarify your doubts. Now one more part is there. One more part is there. That is, you can see that entire country is having lots of diversity. The entire country is having lots of diversity. Somewhere heavy rainfall, somewhere low rainfall, somewhere moderate rainfall. All these part I am going to discuss in the next class. So till now, whatever the topic that I have discussed, once again I am repeating, that is number 1, it is related to the elements of weather and climate. Just keep the concept clear. The chapter is very conceptual based. Elements of weather and climate, difference between weather and climate. Then comes what type of climate India is having, that means the term monsoon, from where it has been derived and what is the definition, that is reversal of wind direction. And then comes the connectivity between temperature and air pressure, wind and air pressure, and what does the seasonal reversal of wind direction mean, that one that I have explained with the help of the map of India. I am not further proceeding with any sort of explanation today. If you are having any doubts, just keep your doubts. I am going to conduct a live class for clarifying the doubts. I'll inform you for the, that is your live class within this our own site only, and the time will be notified. There you just clarify your doubts. Thank you for following my class. Have a nice day.